While journalism provides many positive aspects as a career choice, such as the ability to be creative and investigate interesting stories, there are a few concerning negatives, and those include the steady decrease of jobs, the pay, and the declining interest in newspapers and articles in general. According to PewResearch.org, newsroom employment has declined 23% between the years of 2008 and 2017. This is a concerning tidbit of information to an aspiring journalist like myself, but there are a few ways to work around these obstacles that come with the job in this modern age. Over the course of the speech, I will cover how the journalism industry is changing and what drives that change, how the print journalism industry is not only changing but also dying, and how I believe even though journalism is dying, I can still find a way to make a name for myself within that career. Change is hard, and in the case of journalism, it is especially difficult. Journalism is an ever-changing industry, and the glory days of journalism are long gone. Journalists today are battling with so many different mediums, such as the news on TV, articles on various social medias, and search engines. They're battling to keep consumers' interest with such a saturated media entertainment industry. Print journalism is obsolete when you can have the same articles at your fingertips in about a second. The numbers on the amount of readers for print journalism in the past compared to today are staggering. In the 1990s, over 60 million people read the newspaper a week. Today, that number has declined significantly. Journalism.org reports that the number of readers have been cut nearly in half. About 30 through 35 million people read the newspaper a week in 2019. Journalists have luckily learned to change their tactics. Today, to keep readers' attention, things must be short, to the point, and most of all, interesting. Readers don't want to read something that isn't worth the time to read when there are so many other interesting stories that are so easily accessible. Although the journalism industry is slowly changing, it is also slowly dying, unfortunately. As I stated before, employment in the field is way down and has gone steadily down since the early 2000s, and the trend seems to be staying the same. The journalism industry doesn't seem to be making a comeback anytime soon, but luckily for myself, there will always be a need for interesting stories, and I believe that is a service that I can provide. Something that is also killing the print media is the recent influx in video. Modern society loves to watch videos about things instead of read them. It allows them to get information without using any real brain power and also look at fun visuals while doing so. Vlogs are the future, and it is something that I've considered and thought about to stay relevant and ahead of the industry. But the one negative of a vlog is I believe it doesn't give the creator the same opportunity to be creative like writing does. And that is my whole goal in being a journalist. Thinking outside of the box is something that I believe is a huge advantage to staying ahead of the game in the modern journalism industry, and I believe I have a plan to do so. Something that has been a passion of mine my whole life is being outdoors. I've always loved to camp, hunt, fish, and snowboard, and just really anything that is active and outside. This passion has been a driving force for me for years. Another passion of mine that I found later in life is writing stories and being creative through the medium of writing. Journalism gives me an opportunity to combine both of my passions and really create a life that I enjoy and that drives me. But not just any journalism job would allow me to do this. I'd like to eventually find a job as an adventure-style journalist with the companies like Outdoor Life, Field and Stream, and possibly write for the Conservation Department. An opportunity like this would allow me to go experience all the things I enjoy and write about them and hopefully inspire other people to want to do the same kinds of outdoor activities through my writing and my experiences. This is my ultimate goal and is something I strive to achieve. But I believe pursuing a job like this instead of just a normal news journalist puts me ahead of the game and gives me a better opportunity to get a job and keep a job, hopefully. Another thing that I believe could help with jobs in the journalism field is there isn't much money being a journalist, and it is known that it is a dying field. So my hope is that this will deter people from wanting to pursue the career path, and that in turn will provide more job opportunities for someone like me in the future. Today in the speech, I hope I've not only informed you about the current status of the journalism industry, but also inspired you to help keep the journalism industry alive. Journalism is important, and keeping a group of people alive who provide the news and interesting stories for us is something that we should strive to do. Over the course of this speech, I've explained to you the journalism industry, how the journalism industry is changing, and why. I've explained to you the ways we can help keep it alive, and also how I plan to leave my mark on the career and really take a different approach to getting a job in a dying industry. This is something that I'm super passionate about, and I hope I've left an impact on you over the course of this speech.